Let's go. I'm better than ever, they never been better than I. Regarded the hardest and I ain't even reaching my prime. They hate that I'm great and they faking I'm real as they come. So sit back and let me show you how the shit is done. My composition, my propositions, I'm raping the system. I'm killing the competition and all of y'all are my victims. Eyes and oohs as I'm ripping the instrumental. Lyrical, individual, never been sentimental. I'm so hot every time that beat drop. And when I say I'm raping the system,
what is good, boxing fans and gamers? It's your boy FightNightsFinest, the Sophia commentator, back with some more Fight Night Champion. Like, what a surprise. We're here with an online head-to-head middleweight match. We got Carlos Monzon going up against Ricardo Alvarez, a little licensed boxer up against curated boxer, one of the classical matchup on Fight Night Champion. Ricardo Alvarez, a player that is abused in the online community. Pretty good punching power, and he's definitely a hard task to deal with in any means. But I really do like playing with Carlos Monzon. He has that 76-inch reach. His wingspan and height is something that I do feel comfortable with, and with 91 power, he should allow me to contest with Alvarez in some shape or form. Even though I felt like most of this fight I outboxed this guy, that strength advantage is definitely going to help him make up for some stuff. But anyway, today is Wednesday, so that means today is going to be a topical commentary. There's actually something that I wanted to talk about. Let you guys hear from my perspective. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section of the topic. Just leave a comment, sign in on YouTube, and leave a comment letting me know what you think. Now, before I hop into the topic, I actually just have one thing to say. I've noticed sometimes whenever you bring up a topical commentary, obviously there's going to be some form of controversy. However, anytime I bring up a topical commentary, it is not a direct attack at one individual. If you happen to fit the description, that should just let you know a little bit about yourself. Anyway, today I want to talk about being able to make your own decisions and use your own mind. That is something that I notice a lot of people cannot do. You always heard the saying when you was younger, be a leader and not a follower. But there are so many followers in society, and there are so many people who are just going to go along the path that they just hear about. Whatever's popular, whatever sounds good, whatever feels right, that's how people go ahead and make their decisions. But I've always been a little bit different. I've always been cut from a different cloth. I've always believed that you should be able to establish your own ideas and act upon them. That you should never be biased in any given situation, and whatever it is that you believe, you should have it backed by experience, or it should be something that you was able to muster up on your own accord, not based on what you heard somebody else say, or have a proper reason behind it. There's certain things that you can't help but be a follower. In the fact, like for example, following a favorite sports team. You guys know I'm from New York, and you guys know my favorite football team is the New York Football Giants. Now, I can't just go ahead and create my own football team and that be my favorite team. Why? The lack of funding and a whole bunch of other reasons behind that. That's something you can't help but be a follower in. You could be a fan of that. That's somebody or a team that you're going to want to see play. There's something about the niche that they have that you really do enjoy. The fact that not only are they from New York, but I like the play system that Tom Coughlin calls in New York, makes me a New York Giants fan. I like old school football, being able to run the football, have a well-balanced attack, and then go deep down the field in the passing game. And then having a ferocious defense that's able to go ahead and get after the quarterback. That's just my personal favorite things that I like about football, and that's the stuff that I enjoy watching. But just because I like the Giants, this is when being a follower comes in. That's my own ideas as to why I like the Giants. Now, you will see some people, when the Giants start winning or on a 7-game winning streak, let's say they're 7-0 in the season, all of a sudden people start bandwagoning on. People who were, I don't know, San Francisco 49er fans last year, all of a sudden they're becoming Giant fans now, and then you can't even name the first people on the roster. That's being a follower. We see this all the time in different sports, whether it's boxing, All of a sudden now people are Floyd Mayweather Jr. fan, people are James Toney fan. I don't know, even back in the day, all the way in the 1920s, people suddenly became Jack Dempsey fans when he started winning. So, you know, that's bandwagon, and that's one form of just following and people just being able to go ahead and catch on to something that's hot. And that's just one way of them trying to be part of the in crowd. And that's where I really do believe why most people end up being followers. It's because they don't want to go against what's popular and what is quote unquote popular demand. People love to feel accepted. And I think the fear of being unaccepted can drive certain people to do certain things. We see it all the time in movies and games and films. Just your everyday life. What extent people will go to in order to fit in with a certain group of people. People who look desirable, people who have things. People will go the extra mile to make sure that they get in there. And it's the same thing here on YouTube. How many people you see all of a sudden bandwagon and jumping on commentators who are becoming better, and you know, they starting to get on a hot streak now. All of a sudden they might hear something that somebody says, they start copying people's work. That's one form of just being able to go ahead and start bandwagoning onto what it is that you hear. Some people seeing something that's good and they're copying and taking it for themselves. Copying is another form of bandwagon, and it just shows that you don't have your own ideas that can be established. Now, if you might have heard something good and they say the same thing whenever you write in an essay or whatever the case may be, go ahead and cite and copy your work. You know, cite where it is that you got your work. That's always been something I feel that most people should do. If somebody says something good and you like what they say, yeah, it may be good that you like what they say, but remember where it came from. That's another way in which people just start going ahead and following others. So we're learning so far that people just do things to either be in the in crowd, to be good, to, you know, jump on the bandwagon. And we're learning that a lot of people aren't able to stand on their own 2 feet when it comes to making decisions, and when it goes about just doing certain things. I know I see it on Fight Night Champion, just playing online. I've seen it in the league. I've seen it a lot of different places, just people being able to start lobbying together. And there's nothing wrong with being able to come together, to work together on something good, to stand for something good. But then there's the other part that comes from being able to stand for yourself and have your own ideas, and that's being able to decipher BS. I'm not going to go into what that stands for. It should be pretty obvious. But some people cannot decipher between you being involved in a lot of crap or somebody's feeding you a load of baloney, and you should know that, hey, like, this isn't good for me. What this guy is saying, or what this person is selling me, what she's selling me, is a load of crap. But I've always wondered, why is it that people buy into stuff that doesn't make sense? Why is it that people buy into things that sound good? Some people like to take advantage of people in their most vulnerable moments. Yes, people are so manipulated, or so manipulative, that they take advantage of people when they aren't in the right state of mind. And what I mean that is, that means there's a problem going on. You know, there could be issues that's going down, but people still find a way to go ahead, and instead of trying to help people out of the good genuineness of their heart, they take advantage of them. They actually go in there and take advantage of them. And then it feels like, to most people, it just becomes a need to have that person around, or have certain people around. You start listening to things that they might tell you that aren't good, and you notice after that you start canceling people out that you should be involved with. It just, anything they say, you linger, you do. And it's that just the definition of not being able to have your own mind. It's crazy. I don't know what you guys think about that. I know for a fact I see it a lot of different places. I've seen it from a lot of different angles so far. I'm not the oldest guy in the world, but you learn a lot whenever you live around the world for a long time and start to recognize stuff. I feel I'm only just now starting to see how it is that society is brainwashed, whether it's in just your everyday life, to politics, to sports. A lot of people just seem to be brainwashed into the fact that nobody finds it okay to just be yourself. And I think that's one of the biggest things, or biggest reasons as to why it is that most people are brainwashed into believing certain things, or why it is that some people cannot decipher BS. It's just because they're so self-reliant. Not self-reliant. They're so reliant on other people, on information that they see. I can't tell you how many times I've been in an argument and I hear somebody saying something else that somebody else said. It's not like it was an original idea that they previously had on their own, but it's just something they probably heard on the news or they heard at a different point in time, and then now they're just repeating in order to back their argument up. Some people like to use things that would normally sound like it could be factual information, and then they repeat that in a commentary, or they might repeat that in an argument to make you believe like, hey, because you know there's numbers behind it, that is necessarily true. I can't tell you how many people go out there and put out false information so that you people can go ahead and believe, and most people jump on it. And when they hear numbers behind it, that must mean that it's true. I don't know. For me, the biggest thing that you have to be able to do is to be able to think for yourself, come up with your own ideas, express how you feel based on what you think. Be unbiased in your opinions, be unbiased as a person, never judge anybody, and whatever the conclusion you come to, make sure it's well thought out, and make sure that there was a lot of thoroughness put into it before you just conclude to it. I don't know what you guys think. Let me know in the comment section below. What do you guys think about this topic? What do you think about people not being able to decipher BS as this guy leaves the match? Thank you guys for watching. This is your boy FightNightsFinest, the Sophie commentator, and I'm off this. Peace!
I told you, brother, I'm the chronicle of our struggles, the voice of the families like Moses, only keeping it real.